13 assists. Karis LeVert finding Jared Allen.
I tell you, you think big picture with this Nets team. Obviously, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant next year. And, you know, the common thought is you need to have 3 stars potentially to win it all. I tell you what, as OG Anunoby gets all the way to the rim, Karis LeVert, I think, is rapidly becoming that guy for the Nets.
And he's only 25 years old, by the way. So he's going to find a role, whether it's with Brooklyn or another team. But he's displaying the versatility, and then he's a big guard to go over the small.
Yeah, and that's what Jared Allen does. He is a terrific rim protector, but he's also got the versatility.
Prior to that, guys, with 14 here in the bubble, he said that Coach Jacques Vaughn challenged him to be more of a facilitator. And Jacques Vaughn said he's probably capable of getting even more now that he's seeing so many double teams.
Yeah, good point. Thank you, Stephanie. And he's showing his versatility, that he can score, but he can also, it's inside out.
Which was the case with Siakam, and he's turned out to be a terrific play.
And good pass. Jared Allen, Cabarrot again.
Yeah.
So this is encouraging because they're doing this against a very good defensive team.
It is, but, you know, we saw a little bit of this the other day, partner. Yesterday again with the Bucks, right? The intensity defensively and the physicality wasn't quite there, and you allowed maybe a team not as talented to get some confidence, and that's what's happening right now, I think, for this Nets team.
Kyle Lowry's second chance, wide open look, and makes the most of it in a 6-point lead for Brooklyn. They were wired in game 1, so this is really encouraging. There's Jared Allen on the downhill guard. Karis LeVert, and a big guard at that. On the Euro, and going to the line, looking for the Nets up by a dozen, as they are 8 of 11 from the field, 4 of 5 from beyond the arc overall. The lob, Jared Allen on the hammer. Oars now.
Yeah, you don't see it from this angle, but that is a beautiful pass. But what you do see is a lack of weak side help. Kyle Lowry unable to rotate down because of the threat that Joe Harris presents, and a terrific job of patience there, really well. And most guys instinctively overreact in terms of overhelping.
A shot up that time. And now Serge Ibaka into the game. Career year for him offensively.
Roll now because they've got a much more mobile lineup due to play in the half court.
Tyler Johnson tried to stay in front of Kyle Lowry. Norman Powell spends his game. It is by Jared Allen. It's another turnover in a 4-point game. It was just 12. And the run continues.
They are the defending champs.
LeVert trying to lose a really good defender in Siakam. Corner 3. They needed it. Gibbs coming up well short there. LeVert on the run before they can set defensively. Got what he wanted.
Yeah, for Toronto, they can switch those pick and rolls. And they've got the size and the athleticism to be able to
game clock. Brooklyn out shooting at 50% to 42%. What about that take?
Consistent. What do you want to continue to see there?
It's the ultimate compliment to get done.
Toronto was 32 of 33 at the free throw line.
And 50% from 3. So they basically got it all. And how about Norman Powell giving it all and brought in some more quickness and length. He was able to then switch those pick and rolls, and they're going to get a block there in the
first to the game. Good drive and kick. Tyler Johnson. He got that up, as you said. They needed warm bodies. Tyler Johnson on the run. And the former Fresno State Bulldog
line as well for the Raptors.
What's healthy, though, it'll be Kyle Lowry protecting it. Use no turnovers in the opening game as it's taken away. Norman Powell on the run. And with the left hand. Makes it a 1-point game.
That was an example of athleticism because he hung in the air forever to get to the left side and get that finish with the left hand.
He's a different player the last couple of years as opposed to his first 2 years. Mid-range game. And it pays off. Chiozza.
And they needed that basket there.
So Chris Chiozza out of Florida, where he played 4 years of college ball. Now the mismatch. Billy Powell again, all the way to the cup.
On the kick out.
And Norman Powell now 11 points off the bench. Great entry.
It was not his fault. It was just a breakdown on the offensive execution.
That's out of a timeout. Jared Allen, perfect entry. Karis LeVert back on the floor, and you can tell.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the difference is, even for Jared Allen, he cuts harder with LeVert on the floor because he's expecting to get that pass, and that's just an ability that LeVert has that really nobody else on this current roster possesses. You did in game 1, and offensively, put yourself in a much better situation in terms of having a chance to win this game.
That's why they had 33 assists on 43 makes yesterday, moving the ball that quickly.
You know, some teams have great players that can create offense. Others really got to rely on their system to create offense.
So Siakam, plenty of time. Man, it's going to be a defensive threat.
What a sequence, man. You got to feel for the Nets to work that hard and get that many opportunities in their team in this game thus far, even though he's done a good job with his facility. He ends up making, you know, Memphis is his home.
Right.
His kids there, the whole nine. Look, then Toronto's offense created on that possession.
And Joe Harris, LeVert. Another wide open three. Garrett Temple into the fourth quarter is going to be the key. And the confidence will grow. Tough shot.
That the dribbler is being contained. No reason for you to come over. You end up creating that opportunity there for Van Vliet to get all the way to the rim.
Van Vliet up to 8 points, but is required to make it 10 points now on 10 shots. So not quite what we saw in the first game. On the tape, Karis LeVert creatively around the length at the rim.
Well, that was a possession where the Raptors went to a zone and didn't do a good job of defending there. Great recognition by the Nets to still run their offense.
They walked away and he burns them. Van Vliet starting to warm up. He's in double figures and up to 13. So 4 of the 5 starters for the Brooklyn Nets in double figures. And surprisingly, the only guy who isn't is Joe Harris, but he hasn't had many, as you say. And a breakdown defensively. And the game before that, he had 13 in the seeding games. Van Vliet again gets to the cup. Basketball, hasn't it?
Yeah, intensity and physicality picking up bigger than their size. And then they can also do it all in terms of playmaking, shooting.
Good look. Now Lowry trying to get past Joe Harris, and he will. Carroll. Thomas, first look, works. They share the basketball. Tyler Johnson's teardrop works. Norman Powell with Van Vliet. And a gamble out front, sets it up. It'll be an easy one for him. We can get into all the players they're missing, like Kyrie Irving. Mid-range game of Norman Powell.
In the NBA, and so it's just he's not getting enough possessions where he can just kind of exhale as Norman Powell continues to give them a boost here off the bench.
So Norman Powell with the make. Is up to 16 points on 7 of 13. Got great position on that inbounds. They let it come in towards the rim. Tyler Johnson fills it up, and boy, do they need it. A dry spell ends. 83-80 Brooklyn.
They just, every time it looks like Toronto is there, they find a way. And
Raptors look for their first lead of the second half, and they've got it.
Push. The Nets have been able to answer. Let's see if that can continue.
Carolyn on the next whistle. On the switch, Ibaka
out defensively, and also I think there's some fatigue involved in this to provide an offensive spark.
Well, they got
team searching right now.
They got a setup man coming back. Joe Harris required. It had been 19-5 to start the fourth quarter. A big triple for Joe.
And that's huge too. Anything they can do positively with LeVert on the bench. Now can they get some stops consistently?
Kyle Lowry was coming off picks. Norman Powell, though, and he got away with one, didn't he? Used the off arm, a little bit of a wing coming out.
A little bit.
Good move. Got away with it.
You got to do a better job defensively of not allowing him to catch it that close to the basket.
Norman Powell with 18, 19 for Lowry, 24 for Van Vliet. So the guys you would expect their backcourt. Johnson on the floater. Garrett Temple on the flyby. And leaving it off. High percent. Allen went after it. Powell's got it. Norman Powell, one-man wrecking crew, gets to on the switch. Deep into the clock, Powell. And I guess that's high percentage. But Norman Powell has been on top of his game today, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He didn't settle outside.
No, he didn't. And I tell you what, I got to give Jared Allen a lot of credit. He is just working his tail off. Just didn't have enough to get there.
Joe Harris gets the triple in the Harris. Now LeVert. Luau Cabarrot gets count. It's Joe Harris. Kyle Lowry all over him. Now Temple can't save it. Turnover costs them. Norman Powell, and that should do it.
And Lowry right in the middle of it again.